I think that's only separates. Come on. They got baby a little bit more active.
Number 57, a draw. Overruled by Judge Russell, who scores it 58-56, and Judge Isaac, who scores it 59-55. In favor of the winner by way of majority decision. The dedication, Daniel Bailey.
All the smoke. Hey, I said this interview when I was a kid, and I'm gonna say it again. I'm coming to conquer everybody.
It was a battle. It was a blessing to be here right now, cause it was likely that we wasn't gonna go, but we showed them.
Excellent. Well, yo, how long were you training for this event?
Only 2 weeks just for this event. So, see, it's not that much. It's natural talent over here. That's all it is.
Wow. Well, after you get done with this, you have any more tournaments that you have lined up, man?
Yeah, I'm trying to make it to the Florida State PAL, and then next year, Junior Olympics and everything. I'm coming to conquer everybody.
It's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so I wanted to come here real quickly, guys. You know, it's been a long day. You know, did a little bit of boxing training, went to go watch the local amateurs do some sparring. It's been a full day of boxing for me, away from YouTube today. But, you know, while I was busy in the midst of my own training, you know, just staying in shape and watching these young amateurs box, you know, shout out to my boy Luis Hernandez. He had the zone on his phone, so we actually were watching the Red Owl boxing card on the phone, and he turned it on at just the perfect time because we had a chance to catch one of South Florida's very own, that man right there above my left shoulder, Daniel Bailey. Little Haiti stand-up, South Florida stand-up, Dade County stand-up. Daniel Bailey was in action tonight. Now, don't ask me about Giovanni Marquez, because I didn't watch Giovanni Marquez. Don't ask me about Mia Ellis. I didn't watch Mia Ellis. Don't ask me about Jaleel Hackett. I didn't watch Jaleel Hackett. And with all due respect to all of them fighters on the card, I didn't really quite care about those fights. The fight that I cared about was that man right there, Daniel Bailey, because he's one of our own here in South Florida. You know, I know Daniel pretty well. And Daniel Bailey, instinct fighter. You know, he was a U.S. Army veteran. He's 27 now, so he's trying to get a move on with his career. And it was his 13th pro fight tonight. And it was a big one because he was taking on Malik Warren, you know, who at the time Daniel fought him, 7-0. You know, good prospect of, you know, I know the name Malik Warren because I know he was signed to many other promotions, and I know that there was a little buzz with his name due to his association with Gervonta Davis, and obviously he's trained by Gervonta's coach, the infamous, you know, Upton Boxing's very own, a staple in the community in Baltimore, Calvin Ford. So it was a really important fight for Bailey. You know, Bailey, this is only a second fight removed from his stoppage loss to Jonathan Fierro, where he absolutely got lambasted and stopped in 2 rounds. So listen, you know, you didn't want to have a second loss in your record for Daniel, and he was being thrown in a tough fight. I will be led to believe that Malik Warren, because based on how everyone was talking, Malik Warren had to have been the favorite just off of the record and the Tank Association and whatnot. But listen, that's why you fight the fights. That's why the fights, you watch them in the ring. And it was a good fight, man. I really enjoyed it. Now, Malik Warren, tall guy for 130, long, rangy. He had some success in that first round, you know, landing the straight right hand and really, I feel, winning the battle of range early on. But then, you know, even towards the end of that round, I saw Daniel Bailey make some adjustments and close the gap on him and touch that body. And then once round 2 came out, literally from round 2 to round 6, Bailey got the range down, and it was a defensive clinic. It was a defensive counter-punching clinic for Daniel Bailey. He was right there in the pocket, making him miss, making him pay, going upstairs, using his feet, circling the ring, the sweet science of boxing. You could call it pugilism. Whatever you want to say positive about the sweet science of boxing, that was Daniel Bailey tonight. And I was in the parking lot of one of the gyms here in South Florida, we were watching it on my boy Luis Hernandez's little phone. Me, Luis, my boy Eric, and it's just great to see a fighter who isn't afraid to stand in the pocket and be defensively sound and responsible and be that counterpuncher. And Bailey, I think at times was not only was he outboxing Malik Warren, I thought he was out fighting him, just out counterpunching him, out everything. And I don't know what the judges are watching because this shouldn't have been a majority decision. One judge ruled it a draw, which I didn't see how he could rule a draw. The other judges ruled it 58-56 and 59-55. I think those are more accurate scores than the draw. Bailey did his damn thing. I was impressed with Bailey because I feel like he looked so good in that fight that if it had been 8, 10, 12 rounds, I think he could have continued to fight and probably done better. Maybe even wound up hurting Malik Warren because he was doing his thing. So he takes his O. He's the second South Florida fighter this year to take the O of a fighter that's trained by a high-profile trainer. You know, earlier in the year, Eric Tudor did beat Damani Kato Kane, who was undefeated at the time, and he was trained by Terrence Crawford trainer Brian McIntyre. You know, well, guess what? Daniel Bailey joins him, and he takes the O of Calvin Ford-trained fighter Malik Warren. So let's talk about Bailey for a second because, you know, boxing is a crazy sport. You know, 1 minute you're nobody cares about you. You know, tonight he got his chance to shine on Red Owl Boxing, you know, a new fight series they got on the Zone, Red Owl Boxing. They had some good people working the show. You know, Sean Porter, a good friend of the program, the lovely Sofia Gutierrez, she was on the program as well. So I'm familiar with some of the people on the broadcast team. So shout out to Red Owl Boxing for giving my boy Daniel Bailey an opportunity to showcase his skills. But let's talk about him for a second, right? And you know, I wish Malik Warren the best. I think got to come back and be better. But right now, I think at this point in his career, Bailey just wanted it more. He didn't want to taste defeat. And so he takes his O, and he's a 130-pounder. And, you know, I still have some concerns about some style things. You know, I think Malik Warren fought at a pace that was very favorable to Daniel Bailey. I'd be very intrigued to see how Bailey's stamina and his style holds up against more of a pressure fighter. But nonetheless, he went in there and he handled business tonight. And so when you look at what could happen next for him going into 2024, I mean, I know it's a while. I know he's not probably anywhere close to this guy in the worldwide rankings, but I know one fight that he wants and that he's expressed to me that he wants is a fight between him and Chris Colbert. And I like that fight. I think I'd like Bailey in that fight, actually. I think Bailey could beat Colbert. Chris Colbert fights has some similar tendencies to Daniel, and that fight would be a real good chess match. I think someone would have to be the aggressor in that fight. I think Chris would probably try to be the aggressor in that fight, because Chris has been fighting against bigger guys recently. I think Bailey can outbox Chris Colbert, and I think tonight might be the catalyst for Daniel Bailey to get his career going on the right track, because you know he got stopped by Angel Fierro. He's had you know, some issues in his career with just you know getting things on track. You know, you look at his box record. There's not a whole lot of great names on his resume, but this right here, you know, fighting a good prospect in Malik Warren. It should be an eye-opener to the boxing world that, hey, this kid Daniel Bailey can fight. And listen, I follow Daniel on Instagram. I haven't seen him in person in quite some time, but I do know he's been sparring with some good people here in South Florida. Like, I know he's with Herman Caicedo, so I know he sparred my boy Eric Lanzis Jr. Listen, I know Daniel works hard. I know Daniel lives the life of a fighter. I know, like, and this is the greatest compliment I give anybody in life. He's a true professional. That's the motto I have for myself, is be professional, meaning that you got to show up and do the work at all times. I know Daniel's a professional. I know Daniel works hard. I know Daniel goes and swims those laps. So it's good to see one of the good guys get rewarded for his work. And I hope this could be the real big starting point in his career for, you know, just pushing onwards and upwards at 130. You know, there's some good fights out there for him. I mentioned Chris Colbert. Let's look at something maybe a little bit more realistic for him, because he was ranked 368 on BoxRec coming into this fight. Let's see if we can find a name somewhere in and around his weight. Now, I saw at 355, Nicholas Polanco was ranked at 355. Polanco just fought my boy Angelo Leo. I think that'd be a good fight for Bailey. You know, Polanco's fought some good names. Javier Fortuna, good names. Jaime Arboleda. I would like that fight. You know, that's a good fight for Bailey. Some good fights out there for Bailey. You know, but yeah, shout out to him. Hopefully we cross paths soon, because I haven't seen him in a minute, and he's one of the genuine good guys in boxing. But you know, a lot of fighters try to be slick. I know Daniel has stated that not only does he want to be a world champion, but he wants to also go down in history as one of the best defensive fighters in boxing. Well, I'm gonna tell you this right now, Daniel. You took a nice step in that right direction tonight. because it was a defensive masterclass and counterpunching clinic that he put on undefeated prospect Malik Warren. So South Florida, stand up. You know, we taking O's. Daniel Bailey, shout out to you, man. I'm glad to see you get a victory. Hopefully it can be the catalyst for many more things to come. And thank you again to Red Owl Boxing and DAZN for allowing Billy to showcase his talents to the world. So yeah, leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this video, click right here and make sure you subscribe. Much love from sunny South Florida.